What are we reviewing? What's your head?
Hi and welcome to the Review Tuesday. My name is Kay and this is
Ruben.
And today we are reviewing The Umbrella Academy 2.
Now the Umbrella Academy must find a way to reunite, figure out what caused Doomsday, put a stop to it, and return to the present timeline to stop that other apocalypse, all while being hunted by a trio of ruthless Swedish assassins. The first season of Umbrella Academy, I really enjoyed. I think it's one of the better Netflix original series, although it is adapted from a manga series, comics. Obviously, if you're a fan of that, you would have probably have read them already. But it was one of them. It was one of the series, the original content that seemed to be liked by most people across the board, which is unusual for Netflix because normally it's quite split. There are obviously always going to be some people that are like, "Nah, I don't like this. That was rubbish."
What the hell's that?
Pigeon fighting.
Oh, okay.
However, I think for this, you can safely say that people are really excited to see the second season. I, for one, was also really excited. We've waited a while because between them making season 2, there's been COVID, so it's taken a while, and now we finally have it. I'm thankful to Netflix who gave us the screeners. There's 10 episodes, they're about 50 minutes long, and why don't you tell us what you liked about it?
Well, okay. I really like the fact that it just starts exactly where season 1 ended off. So it's like literally split seconds, like ta-da, and we continue with the story. Season 1 ended on quite a cliffhanger. And so as soon as you get into season 2, it's brilliant because your question is kind of answered.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting what they did without giving too many spoilers, but I'm sure you'll notice in the trailer that they are back in the 60s where they land.
Yep.
And that's obviously interesting because you've got people from 2019 suddenly in the 1960s in America, and obviously there's segregation, there's all sorts of difficulties that I guess we don't really consider to I guess we think we've moved on since then. So it's interesting to put these characters in that situation, and then you really feel the injustice of it. And I think that's obviously very timely for what's happening in the world at the moment. So, they were bang on the money on that one, I guess. What did I like about it?
I don't know.
I liked the second half.
Yes.
I really liked it when the whole gang kind of came back together because it suddenly felt like the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah. There was a moment, in fact, where he said, "Now it feels like the Umbrella Academy."
Yeah. And prior to that, they were kind of like individual stories going on, and it felt very disjointed, and it felt like I'm not sure how they're gonna, like, what's gonna happen and how they're gonna put it all back together.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed with the first few episodes. That's not to say they were bad. It's just that I wanted to get over that initial thing that they did in the first season, which was basically getting the group together to a place where they could work together. The first season saw us jumping backwards and forwards in looking back at the past of how they've been raised and how they've been trained. In this one, it's trying to bring them together again because of timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit annoying for me because I was hoping that, they've gone through all that kind of crap that they needed to, and now they're a team. But that's not the case for season 2. It takes them a while to get to that point again. And even then, they've got a lot of issues that they need to work out individually. Their characters need to grow. I mean, obviously, with every season, whatever TV series you're watching, character development has to happen because that's the nature of storytelling.
Yeah.
And you have to have that. But I was hoping that we were going to get to a point where maybe that point a bit quicker. And so because they do a lot of story building, it takes a good few episodes to get back into that place where you feel comfortable. It's the Umbrella Academy when it reaches a certain spot, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
And then the last 3 episodes, after they've dealt with kind of the story that they want to tell in this, really kind of heightens up. And it's weird because I felt like they were really ramping up the story arc right at the end again.
Yeah, just like they did last time.
Like they did. So they do story, they do character development, they do character side stories, side quest. Hold up a minute, side quests.
Exactly.
And then that is the majority of the storyline. You do get a bit of arc, and they're trying to figure out what's happening, why certain things are happening without doing spoilers. And we will do a spoiler review like we do with these series. but it is fun to watch these characters go through what they need to, especially in this timeline. But like I said, I would have liked them to get there a bit quicker.
Yeah, I think I thoroughly enjoyed some of the characters. I think there were characters that were highlighted in this season that maybe were not so much in the focus last season. So that was really good to get to see and get to know them a little bit better. I really appreciated the comedy moments, and there were lots of them. I particularly just love Klaus. He's like my favourite character.
Is brilliant. Yeah.
So just loads of fun things in amongst a really pretty dark storyline.
Yeah,
I think that's what
works.
they did last time as well. That there's really some dark stuff going on.
Yeah.
And yet you have these comedy moments going on, which is great. I thought that the continuity from season 1 to season 2 was excellent. In terms of the style, the cinematography, just the way that they filmed everything, the flow that they had was very, very similar to season 1.
Yeah.
And I thought that the wardrobing and, all of that stuff was, great continuity.
I particularly liked the soundtrack once again. I mean, I loved it with season 1, but it's very much a character in season 2, and it's different throughout. They haven't picked one particular genre or style that they want to go for. They do what works for the moment, and so you have orchestral pieces, and then you have actual soundtrack pieces that don't necessarily relate to the time that they're in, but also works for some reason. I think that's quite brave to do. Sometimes it doesn't work. I've seen it not work in quite a few series where we've watched the series and we go, why on earth have they chosen that piece of music? So it doesn't always work. But for this, it was really like a character piece, a showcase of what was happening in that moment. That kind of, I guess, it heightened what was happening in that moment, which is really fun to watch. I think the action is very good again, although there were a few action set pieces or sequences in choreography in martial arts in season 1 that I thought was better. There wasn't as much of that in season 2. There is some, but I think I remember one particular with Five in a restaurant, and then he's taking out all these agents by hand, and that was one of my favorite sequences. You do get some of that in here, but I don't know if it's quite the same. I think it's different. The action set pieces here are more fantastical, especially when you get to those last few episodes as the story heightens and the arc comes to its fruition, kind of. Without doing spoilers, we should say, no, we're not going to say that. We'll do it in the spoiler word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
We're not going to tell you anything about the story.
No, we're not.
Because we want you to enjoy it.
Exactly.
There were surprises. There were a few mouth moments that just went, my jaw went, which is great in this day and age when you see so much TV and series and
you turned to me and said, I did not see that coming.
So I guess if you've watched the graphic novel, if you've read the graphic novel, then you might know what's going to happen. But if not, then I think you're in for a ride and you're in for a big surprise. I hope you enjoyed as much as we did. I'm going to give this an A minus.
Okay.
What are you giving this?
I was going to give it I was going to go for a B+, but now I'm actually thinking about those last 3 episodes and I'm bumping it up to an A-.
Okay. Yeah, because, I think we
actually,
probably thought it was a B+, and then the last 3 episodes happened, and you're like, all right, man.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Score more points.
Yeah. I do want to go back, just track a little bit.
Okay.
With the music, they interweaved a lot of the same piece of
violin.
Yes, that violin piece of music that Vanya plays in the first season is echoed throughout this season.
In fact, I think I said I love it when that piece comes in.
Yeah,
it's like a showcase of what's heightening in that moment, and you feel the heroic moment. You're like, hero stuff.
Sometimes,
bad hero stuff. I would say that the characters stick to the characters you expect them to be, so you will get frustrated with them again, because they are broken people.
So broken.
Which I guess it makes it entertaining to watch. They're very broken, and they often make the wrong decisions, which is why they find themselves in so messed up decisions. But they keep trying, and I think that makes it really endearing. You're on their side. You do get emotionally attached. It took me a while. When there wasn't a few emotional gut punches, I did go, yeah, I feel that. But it did take me a while. I think I didn't feel much for those characters until like episode 6. I liked the journey, I enjoyed the adventure, but I wasn't emotionally entangled until the latter half.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let us know in the comments below. Are you excited for the series? Let us know who's your favorite character.
Oh yeah.
And are you looking forward to a potential season 3? Thanks so much for watching this, but most of all, until next time, remember,
Live long and Tuesday.